This is One on One.
Brought to you by Visiting Nurse Association Health Group, home care, hospice, house call, and community-based services.
Paul Hoffman is the president and chief executive officer of a great organization called the Liberty Science Center, based in Jersey City, New Jersey.
Jersey City, almost on the bank of the Hudson. We're on the edge of Liberty State Park, right opposite Battery Park.
I mean, thousands and thousands of school-age children and others go there all the time to see what kinds of things?
All sorts of things. So we have live animals, 110 species, including tamarin monkeys. We have aquariums of fish we've pulled out of the Hudson, 80-pound drumfish that my staff has caught right there. We have things that deal with engineering, how skyscrapers are constructed. I mean, you're looking at the Freedom Tower in all of lower Manhattan, and you can understand the construction. It's all interactive. It's all stuff you can do and participate in.
Well, tell us about this. We're going to see some video of the MythBusters exhibit. Tell us about it.
Yeah, so this opens on February 18th and will be there through September. And this is based on the MythBusters show. So you're actually going to be able to test things. So you're going to see, can a plane take off from a conveyor belt? You know, the conveyor belt's going this way, the plane's going the other. What about the rain? You have to get somewhere in the rain. Do you get more wet if you run or if you walk? I mean, we have other things like the magicians do, trying to pull a tablecloth out from under dishware and glassware. Is that possible? What if the glasses are light? Is that better? If they're heavy, is that better? So we have all these kind of things. Some of them are things that people take for granted. Like if you drop toast and it's buttered on one side, does it land on the butter or does it land on the other?
We need to know these things, Paul.
Absolutely. It keeps me up late at night. And I'm not going to tell you the answer, but if you come to the exhibit, you'll be able to discover it for yourself.
You're also a very good marketer. Always have been. That's how you get people to come here. The other thing that's fascinating to me is you were talking about this planetarium, is it?
Yeah. So if you pass us on from the Holland Tunnel throughway extension, 23 million cars go by there a year.
That's right.
We're the huge dome. In that dome is an IMAX film theater.
I've been there.
Film's going out of style. Our equipment is a film projector. It's past end of life. So we're turning that into a digital theater that we can show anything, but also putting in a planetarium system. We'll be able to take the Hayden Planetarium from New York and put it inside our planetarium.
How great is that going to be?
It's going to be fabulous. It's going to open a year from now. And, you know, all these planetary probes that NASA has, where we got those incredible images of Pluto, or putting rovers on Mars. There's a whole series of these over the next 10 years. All those images will be shown there. We'll be able to connect you right to the researchers themselves.
That's coming when again?
The images. 1 year from now, November of 2017.
Talk to us about is it the lightning exhibit?
Yeah, this is pretty cool. Nikola Tesla coils. So these are coils that shoot lightning back and forth. They're driven by music, so you can plug in any electric instrument to it. And this is based on a stunt that David Blaine, the magician, he's our magician in residence. His practice
He's from
space.
Jersey.
He's from Jersey, and his practice space is at Liberty Science Center. So he gave us Tesla coils that he used that bombarded him for 72 hours. And we created this show from them that's spectacular on Saturdays and Sundays.
When did you become so fascinated with science?
You know, it's interesting. I had a neighbor who had a powerful telescope, and I wasn't interested in science like in first and second grade. And then he let me see the rings of Saturn, and completely flipped in my mind. And that's what we try to do in Liberty Science Center, is create experiences. Not everyone responds to them in the same way, but something to emotionally connect you to the fun of it. Because most people end up in the sciences, even if they're doing good work, like trying to find a gene for a particular form of cancer, they end up there because it's exciting, not because from the age of 5 they decided they were going to find a cure to cancer. So that's what we try to do, is really get kids excited. And then high school kids, connect them to jobs in New Jersey and New York.
Well, the other thing about kids, kids' fitness, staying healthy. Talk about the initiative. Is it with the Horizon Foundation?
Yeah, we work with Horizon, a great New Jersey company that wants to encourage people to be physically fit. We have a lot of really fun physical challenges. We have the Infinity Climber. This is this gigantic climbing structure. It doesn't go to the ground. You climb in it. It has 19 miles of protective thread, so you can't possibly fall out or hurt yourself. So what this Horizon Family Fitness route is, it's a passport where you get rewarded by doing all these challenges, going up a climbing wall, going through our sensory deprivation touch tunnel where it's totally dark and it's a maze to get out the other side. We have I-beams in our skyscraper exhibit where you get strapped into a harness so you can't possibly get hurt. but you get to walk out in the I-beam. It's great particularly for kids and adults too that are nervous about physical things. You do it in a very safe, protective setting. All people love it, but kids particularly even on the autism spectrum are often scared of some of these challenges, and this is a safe place to overcome them.
I was meeting at breakfast recently with our mutual friend Josh Weston, a big supporter and friend of public broadcasting, who was telling us about the annual event that you have where you recognize, they're not scholars, but they're people who are doing incredible work in science, no?
Yeah, absolutely. So they're, people of singular brilliance. We call it the Genius Gala.
Oh, that's the Genius Gala.
Yeah,
That's what it's
Genius Gala. So Corey Bargman, for instance. Trouble with scientists, they're not household names. I
Right.
wish they were. We're trying to make them that. She runs President Obama's Brain Mapping Initiative. It's a $3 million project to map all the neurons of our brain. She discovered the most basic thing in brain science. What's the chemical that causes one neuron to connect to another? Okay, and we have all sorts of disorders of the brain that probably the connections don't happen or there are too many of them. It's all because of this molecule. So we honored her. Jeff Bezos, now why did we honor him?
Right.
For what he's doing in private rocketry, and Richard Branson. We have a parade of people like that that come to our Genius Gala and talk to our kids.
How much do you love what you do?
I love it.
Every day?
I love it. Yeah. It started with looking at the rings of Saturn, and now I can to bring adults and children that same kind of joy.
Yeah, by the way, tell folks again where the Liberty Science Center is.
So we're in Jersey City. We're really easy to get to. You can take a ferry from the World Financial Center. You can take a PATH train under the river. We have our own light rail stop, and we're right off the Turnpike extension to the Holland Tunnel.
Paul Hoffman, President and Chief Executive Officer of the Liberty Science Center. Our kids go there all the time, tell us great things every time they go and they learn something new. Thank you, Paul. Appreciate
Wonderful.
it, buddy.
Thank you, Steve.
Stay with us. We'll be right back right after this.
Brought to you by Visiting Nurse Association Health Group, Home Care, Hospice, House Call, and Community-Based Services. Englewood Hospital and Medical Center. And by NJIT, New Jersey Institute of Technology.